So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special meeting of the Leeton Shire Council. It's just gone 6:30, so we'll commence as per the official notified time. And we do welcome everyone here this evening. Please note that the meeting is being live streamed and recorded, so your images and your voices will be relayed across the airwaves. I'm delighted to start this meeting tonight in a slightly different order to the agenda, in that we're going to do a welcome to country first. Most nights at council we do an acknowledgement of country, but being the very auspicious occasion of the swearing in of this new term of council, I'm delighted to welcome Rotary Elder William Ingram to come and do welcome to country.
Everybody stand, please. Inigaangbo, Kibebangbo, Kwabando, Nyanyuke, Rajago Namago, Rajai Mangarang, Inugi Niniani. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to Wiradjuri country. Wiradjuri people are happy you've come today. Kwabando, welcome. Can you turn to the person beside you and give them a hug and say welcome? Thank you. Kwabando, welcome.
Thank you very much to Elder William Ingram for that very generous welcome. We do appreciate it, and we know that this is a very special occasion. I'd now like to call on one of our local pastors, Jeff Cottam, to do the civic prayer tonight. Thank you.
So thank you for this opportunity to pray on this occasion. Dear Lord, our guiding light and shepherd, in this moment of stillness, we come before you, seeking the wisdom only you can provide. Grant us, I pray, a heart that seeks understanding over accolades, discernment over decisiveness. Like Solomon, who asks for an understanding heart to govern your people rightly, we too seek your guidance to lead with insight and grace. Illuminate our path with your light, that we may see beyond the immediate understanding the deeper needs of those who are called to serve. Bestow upon us the discernment to differentiate between the chaff and the wheat, making decisions that nurture growth and foster peace. In every challenge, let us be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. For wisdom's foundation is patience and love. May our leadership reflect your love, manifesting not just in words, but in deeds that glorify you. In your boundless wisdom, you have shown us that unity is strength, and through collaboration, your will is most effectively fulfilled. We pray for a spirit of unity among our leaders, that they may lead not as islands, but as a united front, embodying the love and cooperation you taught us. Grant them the humility to recognize the value in each other's contributions, creating a landscape of diverse yet harmonious efforts. Like the many parts of one body, let them work together seamlessly, enriching their leadership with the grace of collaboration and the beauty of mutual respect. Bless their intentions, O Lord, so they may seek not personal glory, but the advancement of your kingdom in this community. In times of disagreement, let your guiding hand bring them back to the path of harmony, reminding them that in your eyes we are all one. Through your divine inspiration, instill in our leaders the courage to forge alliances grounded in trust, respect, and shared goals. May their united leadership be a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of collective action. In your majestic presence, we seek the grace to lead with undaunted courage and steadfast conviction. Just as Joshua was commanded to be strong and very courageous to lead your people, inspire every person with the same spirit of valor, anchored not in might, but in your eternal wisdom and guidance. As the potter molds the clay and shapes our hearts to align your will, making them resilient in the face of adversity. Let your word be a lamp unto their feet, illuminating the path of righteousness in times of uncertainty. Grant us the boldness to stand firm in our convictions, to champion the truth with love, to inspire those we lead towards a higher calling. In moments of doubt, remind us of the great cloud of witnesses who have gone before us, who led with courage and transformed the world in your name. May we draw strength from their legacy and your unfailing promise to be with us always. In your wisdom, you have placed leaders among us, entrusted with the powerful task of guiding others. We come before you today to pray for these leaders, that you may endow them with the gift of integrity, like the steadfast lighthouse guiding ships through treacherous waters. Let their moral compass direct them towards honesty, transparency, and ethical decision-making. Lord, in a world tempted by shortcuts and compromises, grant our leaders the courage to uphold truth, even when faced with adversity. May they be likened to trees planted by streams of waters, which yield their fruit in season, whose leaves do not wither, prosperous in their deeds because they are rooted in righteousness. Help them wear honesty as a badge of honour, understanding that true leadership is measured not by accolades, but by the consistency of one's character. In every decision, may they reflect your love, justice, and mercy, servants as beacons of light as they represent the communities they serve and love. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay.
Hello, Councillor. Thank you very much, Pastor. We appreciate those words, and the content of your prayer really signals the gravity of the roles that our elected representatives are picking up today. So we really appreciate your time this evening. So thank you. It's Councillor I'm not allowed to say councillor until after the oaths and affirmations are taken. So with Sandra Nardi arriving this evening, we now have a full house, so there are no apologies or applications for leave of absence. Right, I don't believe that we have any procedural motions tonight, or I might call for disclosures of interest. If anyone does have any disclosures of interest, I'm not aware of any. So we'll go straight to the matter of oaths and affirmations of office, which is the exciting part of the evening, where our elected representatives, in whom the people of Leeton have put their faith to lead Leeton Shire Council, come forward and take their oath or affirmation of office. So I'm going to start at that side of the table and just go around in the order that everyone's sitting. And so I'll start with asking Michael Kidd if he will come forward, please. Are you going to oath or the affirmation? Thank you.
That's all.
It's on.
Yeah, good. I, Michael John Kidd, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Kit.
Thank you.
Welcome on board to the Leeton Shire Council. And may I just ask, in your packages tonight, we circulated the Code of Conduct and the Code of Meeting Practice. Can you acknowledge you've received those?
Yes, I have received those. Yes.
Cool. Thank you very much. Sarah, thank you. Oh, and Councillor Kit, I forgot to give you your badge. I know you'll have two. That's a badge and also your nameplate put in front of you. Thank you. Thank you. Put the oath there. Thank you.
I, Sarah Tiffin, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Tiffin. Welcome on board.
Thank you, Shabby.
Here's your badge.
Thank you so much.
And the nameplate that will live in front of wherever you'll be seated. We circulated the Councillor Code of Conduct and Meeting Practice in your agenda for tonight. Can you confirm you've received that?
Yes.
Read that?
Yes, I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Sandra. You do the oath as well.
I, Sandra Nardi, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Nardi. Welcome back. And that's your nameplate and
Yes.
also fresh badge.
Beautiful.
So,
Thank you.
can you confirm that you've received and read the Council Code of Conduct and Meeting Practice?
Yes, I have.
Circulated?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Tracy. Assume you'll do the oath.
Yes, please. I, Tracy Ann Morris, swear that I'll undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Morris. Welcome back. And another badge for you.
Thank you.
And your place name. Can you also confirm that you've received the Code of Conduct and the Code of Meeting Practice that was circulated in tonight's agenda?
I certainly can, General Manager.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
George. Are you going to do the oath or the affirmation? Oh, yeah.
I, George Patrick Weston, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of Leeton Shire and Leeton Shire Council, and I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Weston. I don't know how many terms it is, but it's a few.
7.
Another badge and your nameplate. And Councillor, can you confirm that you got the Code of Meeting Practice and also the Code of Conduct in your
Absolutely.
meeting badge?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Radio. Crystal. Are you happy to do the oath? Thank you. I'll just.
I, Crystal Madam, swear that I will undertake the duties of the Office of Councillor in the best interest of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Mayton. Welcome back. Another badge.
Lovely.
Another placement. And can you confirm that you got in your meeting pack the code of conduct and the code of meeting practice?
Yes,
in
I
red?
did. Yes,
Thank
I
you.
have.
Thank you. Austin. Which is your choice?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I, Boston J. Edwards, swear that I will undertake the duties of the Office of Councillor in the best interests of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Edwards. Welcome on board. Here's your badge and also your nameplate. And can you confirm that you received and read the code of meeting practice and the code of conduct that was circulated in the agenda?
Yes, I can, General Manager.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Steve. Which one's your preference? You have this one.
I, Stephen John Tynan, solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will undertake the duties of the Office of Councillor in the best interest of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, and that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Tynan. Welcome on board. Here's your badge. And that will be out at every meeting. And welcome to Leeton Shire. Sorry about that. Can you confirm that in your meeting pack you've seen and read the code of conduct and the code of meeting practice?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yes, we've pulled it down a little bit. Which one's your preference?
I, Nicholas Hamlin Wright, swear that I will undertake the duties of the Office of Councillor in the best interest of the people of Leeton Shire and the Leeton Shire Council, that I will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretions vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Congratulations, Councillor Wright. Here's your official badge, nameplate, and in your agenda you received the code of conduct and the code of meeting practice. Can you confirm you've seen and read it?
Yes, I have.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that greatly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now have a full cohort of elected representatives that we now can officially call councillors and who can officially make decisions on behalf of Leeton Shire Council. So I think that deserves a little round of applause. Thank you very much. We're now going to move into the part of the agenda that is election of the mayor. And under the Local Government Act, I have nominated or delegated the role of being the returning officer to our Manager of Governance, Sarah Graham, who will take over this part of the meeting.
Thank you, General Manager. So the first item for this evening is the election of the mayor. Can I confirm, is there any other nominations for mayor off the floor tonight? No? I can confirm we've received one nomination, and I just would like to confirm that Mr. George Weston, that you confirm that your nomination and you accept your nomination as mayor.
Okay.
Fantastic. Since there's only one nomination for mayor, it's a pleasure that I declare George Weston is elected as mayor for the ensuing 2 years at Leeton Shire Council. Congratulations.
Would have voted for it. Oh, that's a bit of a.
Councillor Weston, want to give you the chains of office here. I hope they don't wear you down.
Oh,
All right, congratulations.
thank you very much. Thank you.
So someone else was looking to shake your hands over there.
Yeah.
So,
I thought we were going to do a 1 2 minute speech for everybody.
we'll do that we will do that shortly.
I'll go back. I'll go back again.
Would you like to know you
You can move.
Thanks all my.
That's my mate now.
Can I help carry anything?
I've got a mouse over there somewhere.
Mouse. The real mouse, I hope.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Excuse my fumbling, everybody.
I couldn't find the mouse, but hopefully.
Oh, it's in my bag, yeah.
And something up as well for your man.
With your indulgence, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of that's happened. With your indulgence, Mr. Mayor, we'll ask the manager of governance to proceed with the election of the deputy mayor. If you're okay with that.
Yes,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you, General Manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And congratulations, Councillor Weston.
Thank you.
So for Deputy Mayor, just confirming, is there any other nominations off the floor with regards to Deputy Mayor for this evening? That's what time? So I can confirm we have received 2 nominations for Deputy Mayor. Firstly, confirming Councillor Kidd, you have been nominated, and just confirming that you do accept to be nominated as Deputy Mayor for tonight. Councillor Tynan, you've also obviously been nominated for tonight as running for Deputy Mayor. Just confirming you do accept. Wonderful. Mr. Mayor, due to the fact we now have 2 councillors running for Deputy Mayor, we do need to go to a preferred voting system. So with regards to that, I would like to ask the councillors which method they prefer. So since there is 1 valid nominations for Deputy Mayor, we need to determine whether we would like to vote as a ordinary ballot, opening ballot, or preferential voting method. So with regards to that,
And the recommended option
is the ordinary ballot, which is a secret ballot. So with regards to that, councillors, would you like to proceed with the ordinary ballot for this evening?
It'd be good if someone could move
Move and
it.
second it. Yep. Thank you, councillor Nardi.
I'll second it.
Second, thank you, councillor Morris. Okay, thank you. You've got the 2. Yep. So the next step in regards to the procedure is we've got the 2 candidates in the box just here. They'll be drawn out and they'll actually be placed on the ballot papers in order of how it was drawn. The ballot papers will then be distributed across the table of the councillors, and then you actually mark the box in which Deputy Mayor goes back to myself, I count, and then the executive assistant for the general manager and mayor will recount, and then the declaration of deputy mayor will be announced. Jen, would you like to reoffer? And
Thank you. And just to be clear to everyone, this is because we need to, the rules require us to write this down in order of who's elected first, not elected, who's selected first on the piece of paper that you're going to be marking this evening. And so Councillor Michael Kidd's name has come up. So Councillor Tynan's name will be second on the ballot paper. It seems like overkill for 2 names, but it's the rules, so we're following them.
You have 3 or 4.
I suppose it gets complicated then, yes. The nominations on the floor has been added by hand. No, you just tick the one. Adam.
Cross would
Just
be preferred.
If you could just cross your preference, as in not cross it out, but put a cross in the box. That would be good.
Thank you. And then we'll come around and we've got a box you can put your nominations back in. And then we can count. If you councillors and bear with me, I'll just do some counting. The votes have been counted. And I can declare that Councillor Tynan, having the lowest number of votes, is excluded from being Deputy Mayor. Therefore, I now declare that Councillor Kidd is elected as Deputy Mayor for ensuing 2 years. Congratulations, Councillor.
Wow.
General Manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I know the newspaper is desperate to take a photograph of you and the Deputy Mayor immediately. So everyone's indulgent. We might just have a 3-minute adjournment of the meeting to take the photos, and then we'll come back to do a 1-minute presentation from each councillor around the table. So if everyone's indulgence, please allow the Mayor and the Deputy Mayor to go and have some photos taken. It's nearly like a wedding.
Why? I think I would.
Thank you for that. Emotional.
It's just to reconvene the meeting.
Second, all right.
Second yellow. Yeah, that's right.
We have a movement second for reconvening the council. Councillor Kitts, by Councillor Wright. Well done. Got your name on the paper. Well done. That's what it's all about. All right.
Right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we go on to the next council item, at the previous council, there was a wish to actually give new councillors the opportunity to tell the community what their aspirations are in terms of office. So we've offered everyone the opportunity to give a 1 minute catch up and thought if you're okay with, we might start with you, Mr. Mayor, and then go to the Deputy Mayor and then go around the room.
Was that 1 minute?
Well, it doesn't have to be exactly. We just didn't want it to be very long.
All right. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me there? Okay. Yeah. Good, thank you.
I'm
Good.
sorry, Mr. Mayor, we have had some feedback from people that they were struggling to hear. So if everyone could speak very loudly, we'd appreciate it.
They're not working.
No, they don't.
Right. But there are a number of issues facing our community. We need to find ways to be sustainable, as well as to grow our own community, both in numbers and in lifestyle. We need to maintain our water supply. We are, for the most part, an irrigated shire. Pardon the pun, but everything flows from water. Our biggest problem is securing water and keeping the water coming down to our irrigators, as well as a balance for the environment. If we haven't got water, we haven't got industry. If we haven't got industry, we haven't got people. If we haven't got people, we haven't got a town that we know and love. So let's tackle government buybacks to make sure we get and keep our water share and keep it in our valleys at the same time. We also need to make sure that we secure and help those industries that keep on value adding locally to their products. That is harvesting from these irrigated lands in our shire. From these irrigated lands, we grow rice to make rice cakes. We grow oranges to make orange juice. And we grow grapes to make wine. These are value-added industries, to mention a few. We need all types of workforce, skills such as forklift drivers, lab technicians, production workers, tradesmen, engineers, administration staff, which in turn, they and their families will need essential services like health, education, law and order, roads that must be maintained and expanded on. Then there are the non-essential services like parks and gardens and sporting amenities and library services that the people of this shire need and want. I feel to a degree, these are also essential services, that they are a must for our community, for our well-being and our growth. These are areas I have mentioned of water security, profitability farmers, advancing local industries and small industries, sustaining local employment, attracting and maintaining skilled and non-skilled to our shire, and providing essential and non-essential services are of all equal importance for our community and our residents' future. Our challenge is to keep our shires competitive and attractive for our residents and our potential residents of the community against other shires and cities who are also competing for private and government resources and services. In this term, we need to look at our finances with the limited resources that we have, due to some part, direct pegging, weighed against the services that we want and need for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll go to the Deputy Mayor next.
Thank you, everyone. I had a shocker at work today, so I didn't get to write too much down, but if you'll forgive me. First of all, congratulations to my former colleagues from our previous council, and congratulations on your re-election, and very strong re-election. Everybody's cemented their position and enjoyed a much boosted vote on what they got previously. To our new councillors, welcome. You're potentially entering one of the most rewarding times of your life. How much you get out of it is up to you. Council is a hard mistress, and she'll take everything you can give her and want more. So the harder you want to work hard, there's plenty of opportunity for you. I urge you all to open your minds, leave any hats and agendas at the door, and walk in with a clear mind. Assess the facts. All our decisions here are made on facts. Almost, for those of us that were here almost 3 years ago, we committed at the time to finishing off loose ends and not committing to new capital projects, which we have succeeded in. We committed to tightening our finances, and we have made significant savings there in that area as well. And we have certainly tightened up our operations with most of our projects now coming in under budget and ahead of time. A fantastic process. We also committed to only undertaking capital projects where we could substantially obtain funding from grants and other sources, and I intend to stick with that for the next 3 years. The next is about opportunity, and we have 3 important projects just about finished now. There's Roxy, and that is just going to be the absolute linchpin of our community, and as I said, access to opportunity for so many. The development of industrial land at both Womblegal and Vance Estate, council's put a lot of effort into that, and we're planning to grow for the future and grow our jobs and grow the opportunity for our local businesses and our local people, and most of all, keep our kids in town and give them a job here. And lots of little things come into that, things like the opening of the university study centre and things in recent years, which are helping to keep our young people in our town. Womblegal, while strictly not a council project, has full support of council, and this council has worked very hard to secure the support of other Western Riverina councils on that, and government funding for a lot of that work, and that's been driven mainly by our general manager, who has been the real powerhouse behind that, and that opens up a great deal of opportunity in the Western Riverina. And the other one is working hard to provide strong growth in housing, and that will be mainly done through planning mechanisms, many of which we've undertaken already. We've opened up opportunities within the villages for rezonings and subdivisions and rezoning, changes to our CBD properties and things as well. And as well as working that through planning mechanisms, again, property development's expensive, and that precludes a council on a limited budget like us. But if we plan properly and advance these things with proper support by virtue of water and sewerage, we'll keep pace with that advancement. I'm also committed to and will work to keep rates and charges at the lowest level we can. And I have been for almost 20 years, and Councillor Weston and Councillor Morris, I suppose most notably, we've seen the writing on the wall for many years and worked tirelessly to stop that. And I'm also committed to justice in things like rate pegging, which has been clearly deficient in recent times, and also fighting off the beast cost shifting from state and federal governments. Thank you.
Councillor Tiffin, would you like to be next?
Is it right if I stay?
Sit, stand, you feel comfortable.
Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words. I acknowledge we meet tonight on the lands of the Wiradjuri Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past and future. I also acknowledge my own ancestors and family who were pioneers of Leeton and have given me a deep and abiding connection to this place. I'm extremely honoured to have been elected to Leeton Shire. I walk in the footsteps of my mother, Robin, who in 1970 was the first woman to ever stand for council. I also acknowledge my dad, Jim, who has lived in Leeton all his life and has been a farmer, a strong community member and speaker of some renown, and who has always used his connections with people from all walks of life to build strong bonds and friendships. Mum and Dad have taught me the importance of home, family and a life of service. I also thank my children, Tom, Jill and Wilbur, for their undying support. As a first-time councillor, I hope to listen and learn and work hard. I hope to represent those who don't have a voice. I want to bring young people and older generations together to support each other and learn from one another. I want to promote our town and our shire as a hub for arts and culture, and to work with the community to take action on mental health and suicide and innovative social projects. I will also prioritise water rights, farming and protecting our beautiful natural environment. Nature and agriculture are two halves of the whole. I also hope we can have discussions on, new ideas around new renewable energy projects, and that our shire might become an example of innovation in this space. I will work with my fellow councillors to promote a more open, transparent and accountable council bureaucracy. And I look forward to working closely with you all and learning from you and to serving our community and building cohesion and well-being for everyone.
Thank you very much. Councillor Nardi.
I apologise, my voice is not very well at the moment. I actually did not prepare anything. I haven't had much time myself, so I will just begin. I'd like to say thank you to the people who have who believe in me and have nominated me for my third term in council. I would also like to congratulate my fellow councillors who have returned and also welcome the new councillors as well. I would like to say thank you to the senior management team for always supporting us and being very open and transparent in everything that we do, because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are without your advice and your support. I know that most people are probably going to read for probably 3 to 5 minutes, so I'll keep it nice and short. I obviously, we all tend to sway the same way, and I think that's very important because we all have the same aspect of what we want to represent for the community. So I hope that we are able to debate well, debate hard, and get the best outcome that we can for the Shire moving forward. I am fully in support of our community growing, not just in business, but in farming as well. I think that Leeton Shire Council is finally on the move, and we haven't seen or heard of Leeton on the move for a while. So I would like to continue supporting for the growth of the Shire and the community for all ages, whether they be young or old.
Thank you. Councillor Morris.
Thank you and congratulations, Mr Mayor and Deputy Mayor, and welcome to our new councillors and returning councillors, General Manager, staff, family and friends. It is indeed a privilege to be given the opportunity to serve my community for this 4th term as a Leeton Shire councillor. It is something I do not take lightly. It is a service which you commit many hours, whether it's in presence or in reading, but always with the aspiration to ensure our Shire is a unique, friendly and prosperous community for all. To achieve this, it involves ensuring Leeton Shire stays strong, fit for the future, making sure we can stand alone. That includes upgrading, improving and maintaining assets, exploring and expanding our business growth opportunities, operating and managing the council and the business of council to ensure an efficient, effective utilisation of our resources, and lays the foundations to take our Shire responsibly and progressively forward into the future. Leeton Shire has been on this journey in my terms of council. We have seen major upgrades of our assets. For the first time in the history of our town, which have included major upgrades and overhauls, but we have had to meet compulsory health, disability and fire compliance as an obligation as a provider of public amenities. The term forward will not be simple. We have big issues we must focus on. We've touched on water security, the long-term financial sustainability, housing and medical staff shortages are currently facing our Shire. And also we have the finalisation of these major projects that we're almost there. As a councillor, my intention is to continue to make well-informed and factual decisions and have the courage to make the hard decisions with the aspirations of leaving our Shire in a better place, financially sustainable and with well-maintained, fit-for-purpose assets. I look forward to continue working cooperatively, honestly and respectfully with all my fellow councillors, allowing the General Manager, councils, executive and staff to do their duties during this term of council. We must all work for the overall betterment to ensure a sustainable and prosperous future so that we can all enjoy a harmonious life and prosperous life within our Shire. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Maiden.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate my fellow councillors on their re-election and welcome the new councillors to the table tonight. It is my hope that we can work cohesively together and at the same time be, feel comfortable sharing our points of view and opinions and having some great debate around the table. Perhaps I'm biased, but I believe that we are lucky to live in Leeton Shire Council, and personally I can't think of a better place to raise my family. In this term, I believe we need to focus on the sustainability of the council. I'd like to continue to promote and support our business community. We need to focus on water security, maintaining our services and services that are deemed, I guess, most important to the residents of the Shire. For me, now is not the time for significant new capital works, as it is important that we continue to be financially viable into the future. We need to continue to push for adequate housing in our Shire, as well as be advocates for our health services for the residents that live here. Lastly, it is an honour to serve our community and be elected as a second term councillor. I look forward to working with you all and working hard during this second term. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Maiden. Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and congratulations on the election to the office.
Thank you.
And also congratulations to you, Councillor Kidd, on your election as Deputy Mayor. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Wiradjuri people. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And I would also like to extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who may be present here tonight or viewing at home. I would also like to acknowledge my Gumbaynggirr elders, past and present, and thank them for their spiritual guidance in all I do. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to my family, friends and the community for their unwavering support on my journey to the council chamber. I'm eager to collaborate with my fellow councillors, council staff and the community to ensure our Shire progress. As councillor, I see my role as one focused on scrutinising council operations, eliminating waste and streamlining services to provide you with the quality of services you expect from council. I would advocate for smarter spending and greater accountability, ensuring every dollar of your rates is used wisely before we reconsider any rate rise. As the youngest councillor, I believe it is vital we ensure Leeton is an affordable and attractive place for all to live, but especially young people so they can build the lives they want to have. As elected representatives, we must not hesitate to voice our concerns, especially regarding the Albanese government's misguided water buyback policies and his government's shameless attacks on small business and agriculture. This is imperative as small business and agriculture are both the economic backbones of Leeton Shire. Fellow councillors, while we may occasionally have different opinions based on our values, we share a common love and commitment to the place we call home. I look forward to what we can achieve together over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Edwards. Councillor Tynan, please.
Congratulations, everyone. I offer my condolences to Bill. Change needs to be done as well as seeing to be done. My election was not a ballot position outcome. Research indicate that position one accounts for 1 or 2% of the vote. Being the incumbent contributes a much greater portion of votes. So my election must be seen to be done as a vote for corporate governance and financial responsibility. It was a vote that the people of Leeton wanted to be listened to when we make our voting decisions, and that they want to understand the reasons why we make the decisions we do. After all, it is the public's money After all, it is the public whose money we spend when we vote, and that their best interest should be at the forefront of our voting. How to ensure that the best interest of Leeton's public is manifest in our voting decisions? We must ask questions of everything placed in front of us. We do not raise our hand and accept this is the recommended option and let it go through to the keeper. All of us must use our combined and substantially diverse wit to ask questions of proposals placed in front of us that the public would like us to ask. The worst question is the question not asked. And I have seen many of those as the president of the Leeton Ratepayers and Residents Association. For example, the 2024 to 34 long-term financial plan went through to the keeper with glaring concerns that I had about the quality of the document. It claims that several decades of IPART rate pegging is largely the cause of our financial woes, when in fact, data from IPART themselves showed that rate pegging has only been around since 2010 and has on average been 0.41% greater than CPI. Again, the tables in the document did not match the stated scenarios. One forecast has an average rate increase of 14.75% over 4 years, but the table an average increase of 12.58%, meaning this budget forecast for that scenario was $1,993,011 less than it should be. You can refer to page 24. The other forecast states an average rate increase of 21% over 3 years. Likewise, we end up with a $1,622,350 difference between what it should be. This is most likely due to a formula not being updated in a spreadsheet cell. A simple error, but that ought not to occur with diligent corporate governance. Simply, we have been spending more than we earn and spending it on things like the rocky that benefit a very small cross-section of Leeton's community. This is my wit, attention to detail and numerical analysis. As a councillor, I will be a strong advocate for responsible and realistic financial management. Simply smacking the public pocket with a special rate variation without having a match Sabian Council's budget is not responsible financial management. If my colleague councillors want a 50% rate rise, then 25% of that must come from council savings. In this term, I will continue to have a very close working relationship with the Ratepayers and Residents Association. Our membership number is increasing. I will cultivate my wit for how words and numbers align to achieve goals that have the greatest benefit for the whole of Leeton's community. I will engage with my fellow councillors and your wit to bring greater finesse to my understanding of community and thus be a better councillor. I sincerely hope this sentiment is reciprocated. Experience does not matter. What matters is the ability of experience to evolve.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Knight.
Well, I'm very grateful to everybody who voted for me, and very grateful to have the chance to be on this council with you all. Congratulations, everyone. My goal as a councillor is to do my best. It's to engage with everybody in good faith, both councillors and the general public. I hope that we can bring into council the kind of values that I know and that I've seen from all of you in different places in town, in committees and associations and all kinds of things that we already contribute in the community, where we do solve problems and we do incorporate the real interests of the town into our decision making. This is a very important place for doing that, and I will be keeping those values in mind as we proceed over the next 4 years. It is going to be a long 4 years if we can't treat each other with respect, and also with the assumption of good intent in the other. So that's how I'll be approaching my work with you, and I hope you'll do the same with me. Thank you very much.
Can I just add something to myself, because I was mayor, I never said thank you. So I must say thank you, everybody. Thank you to my fellow councillors, the new councillors, and the council that come back. And I hope you enjoy your time on council. And I must also thank the public who elected me so I could be there. And I feel the mayor is first amongst equals. Just first amongst equals. We're all here to try and make sure we have a good community and working for the community. And I think this term is a bit more unique this term, because we have 4 females here, which is fantastic. Great. We have, as councillors, we have a good cross section of the community, such as young mums, single mums, parents, grandparents, single and married people, medium and small time business owners, large irrigating corporate businesses, education and health. We've got a good cross section of the community. We represent different parts of the community. As I mentioned before, we have a challenging term in getting the balance right between services and income. I'm sure we might have a different of opinions on how we can achieve this, but with our staff and our input, we can achieve this. So thank you very much, everybody, for electing me as your mayor for 4 months. All right, we might move on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
We're now at item 6.1.4. Is the notices of motion to the Local Government New South Wales Conference.
Right, I've got 8. That's fine. You need
Sorry.
to go second.
8.1.4.
Moved by Mr. Councillor Kidd and seconded by Councillor Morris. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I support those motions as stated, particularly the ones regarding health. I did also submit another motion to the General Manager, and it was something that was discussed by the previous council, albeit briefly a couple of months ago. Proposed motion 5 from me is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, aligning fees and costs imposed on local government with rate peg. And the motion is that in the interests of New South Wales Council's financial sustainability and the interests of slowing down cost shifting, Local Government New South Wales calls on the New South Wales State Government and Office of Local Government to align government-determined statutory fees, charges and government-determined service costs to the IPART, determined annual rate increases. Ideally at the highest rate peg increase for statutory fees, and these have lagged for many years, and the lowest rate peg increases for government determined service costs, increased well above the rate peg in recent years. Basically, what we're saying is, if we have to live within our means, then New South Wales Government departments which hold a monopoly on certain services, such as the Audits Office, the State Electoral Commission and whatnot, should also live within their means and be limited to an appropriate rate peg, just the same as we are. In this last year, we've seen our accounting costs go up by 29%. We had no choice in picking our accountant or our auditor, sorry. My apologies. We had no choice in that. That choice was foisted on us. It was an increase of almost 29%. These are the unsustainable things that knock our budget to 6. As for background on this motion, many fees and charges are set by statute, but many have seen little or no increase over a decade. Planning fees and stormwater management charges are a case in point. As a result, councils have increasingly picked up the gap in the cost of delivering these services using general rate income. Similarly, councils are at the receiving end of exponentially increasing service costs like audit fees and emergency services levies, many of which have increased significantly above the IPART determined rate peg. As a result, councils have increasingly had to close the funding gap at the expense of other local council services, or by accepting a reduced operating result. Councils are not able to make up the difference by charging more rates due to rate pegging. It makes for an uneven playing field. It it is therefore being recommended that government imposed fees, charges and costs should be contained in alignment with rate peg increases. As IPART has now moved to variable rate increases for different councils, it is being recommended that the lag in statutory fees/charges increases be aligned with the highest rate increase annually from now on to make up for decades of underfunding, and the proposed future increases of costs such as audit fees and emergency services levies should be limited to the lowest rate peg in New South Wales in recognition of the exponential increase in costs over recent years. That's my motion, my proposed motion to the conference.
And new council, just to explain to what's happening, we've had a motion on the books which have been seconded. These are motions that we'll take to the conference, and Councillor Kidd had added a fifth one to that. Is the seconder happy with this, that added?
I am happy with that, Mr Mayor. I also have something I'd like to add to one of the proposed motions.
All right then.
But I'm happy to second that motion.
A new councillor, are you happy with reading this, what's happening? Digest it.
I suppose
We might just add this last one.
is this,
Okay.
No, it's to one of the existing motions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. It's motion number 2, and it's to protect the communities from our water buybacks. I'm certainly in favour of all that was written. Mine is just some extra information. It could be worded, and that's relating to funds from the government, if they're serious about water buybacks, is investing in research and development of further water reducing cropping and alternate food and fibre cropping in this area. We have a wonderful facility, a Yanko Agricultural Institute, sitting there available for these purposes, with no other dedicated irrigated farming education facility, not only in New South Wales, but in Australia. And we have one here right in our shire. I think it's a golden opportunity to put that forward to our New South Wales state government in conjunction with their existing motion put forward.
Through Mr Mayor, in the recommendation as it was put tonight, which now includes the 5th motion, affords, if it goes through, affords the Mayor delegated authority to submit further motions after consulting the councillors prior to the deadline. So it would be possible to add in Councillor Morris's sentiments and circulate that to all the councillors to check that everybody's in agreement, given the fact that it's not formally written at this point, as opposed to motion 5, which if any councillors have further questions, I'm happy to give some background to that.
Yeah. Any question?
These are motions for the conference, not a motion for this council.
No. When we go to the conference, we're big in numbers and we put motions forward and we get seconders, and then they get to listen to us, what we're asking to be done.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not putting a motion to this council today, are you?
No, we put it to the conference. Yeah. We're asking the councillors here to agree with these motions that we're going to put at the conference.
If I may, Mr Mayor, this is our opportunity to get our point across to government via the collective, which is New South Wales Local Government Association. So it does carry.
Yeah, and we have ministers there as well.
When is the conference?
In November.
Okay, so we have time to see the revised motions and.
Through Mr Mayor, the reason it's come to this meeting is that the motions have to be in by the 20th of October. So that's before the next council meeting, but so it's come through here, but we can circulate revised motions for confirmation from everybody. So, but it's more in principle bringing the sentiment to this meeting, and then we can circulate them for finessing if necessary.
Do the meeting rules allow for approval by circular?
The what?
I suppose that's not an emotion we're approving.
That you're not committing the council to any funds or resources or anything like that. Yeah. It's the principle. So just, if I may just go back, Mr Mayor, there are 128 councils in New South Wales who all belong to an association called Local Government New South Wales, because they find that if they have a collective voice, they have a stronger voice with government, both at the state and the federal level. Their conference is coming up in November, and all the councils who are members have the opportunity to put forward motions which then get debated at this conference. And those motions that get up and get adopted then become policy of Local Government New South Wales, and they go and champion the cause with the government. So, for example, motion 1 is championing the cause of we want some ring-fenced housing, we want some ring-fenced funding for rural and remote communities. There's definitely money in government for housing, but it all tends to go to the cities and the big regional centres. And so we're saying we'd like some money ring-fenced for smaller places. Motion number 2 has been discussed quite a bit tonight, is that protecting communities from buybacks. And I think that speaks for itself. Everyone in Leeton knows a lot about that. And Councillor Morris has asked to add that there's greater investment in research and development as well, related to water sustainability. Motion 3 is around supporting immigrant doctors to work in rural and regional communities. Communities like ours don't have enough doctors, and we've got lots of immigrant doctors interested to come and work here, but it's such a nightmare navigating the path to get registered. And we're asking government to make it a smoother, easier, better supported process so that doctors can come more easily. Instead of being left driving taxis in Sydney, they can come and live in places like Leeton and work here because they've been actively supported to get their registration. Motion 4 is around attracting police force to rural locations. I think that one pretty much speaks for itself. Our community wants to make sure, and many rural communities want to make sure they're safe. So that motion's number 4. And then the new motion that's been put on the table tonight is saying, you make us work to a rate peg, government, but yet you come and you impose statutory fees on us. So, for example, if there's a development happening, we can't charge the true cost of doing our planning services. The government dictates the fee. So that's called a statutory fee. But they never keep up with the true cost of delivering. So we're saying to the government, if you're going to put a rate peg on us, we want you to always make sure you increase that fee. For some of the fees have been left for 10 years at the same level. So they've really lost, and then that means that the general fund has to supplement what's not being funded. Similarly, on the other side, so I've just explained one side where government dictates what we can collect, which is underfunded. And then on the other side, government comes along and says, you must be audited by this company or this organisation, the Auditor General's Office, or you have to pay emergency service levies. And by the way, we're putting them up exponentially, way above the rate peg. And so the sentiment of what's good for the goose is good for the gander is the sentiment of if you want us to live within the means, you've got to support us by making sure your decisions support our means. So those are the 5 motions that have been put through. They're not motions about Leeton. The motions that go to Local Government New South Wales need to be motions that will support all sorts of areas like ours. So it's got to have relevance across New South Wales. But we know that these motions, if they get up and become an advocacy platform for Local Government New South Wales, will actually support places like Leeton.
Like Ford, Davo, all those places in the same boat as us, trying to get something done. Yeah. And if we get it's a numbers case, more councillors get together, pushing a point, get something done. We have ministers there who listen to us. We actually meet ministers and put our case instead of a lone voice by ourselves. So and next year, I hope they'll come again next year. Next year, we'll be able to put motions forward as well. So we're not asking for any money. We're just asking that the councillors are happy to put these motions forward at the next local government conference. Are we okay?
But I mean, do you want us to have a vote now? Is that?
No, yeah, well.
I'm asking about the procedure of this meeting.
That's okay. We've had a mover and a seconder, right?
There will be a vote.
And then I'll call for votes. And if anybody against those, the motion as it stands.
I'm not against the motions. I just
Question.
I just think I mean it's not in my experience that you would vote for something that's going to be changed later, even if we're discussing it by email. So that's why I asked if we're going to vote by email.
Yeah, but I don't think the words of the motion
changes.
the words of the motion might be changed. What you've got in front of you will be the motion go forward.
Right.
It's the sentiment of the motion that you're voting on tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
So if anybody speak against the motion. All right to reply then? All right to reply before put the vote?
Ask that
Right reply,
councillors do support these motions. They are a chance for us to get on the big stage. Sometimes you find that there's other councils that are thinking the same way, and that adds extra weight to our. It's really important that we advocate on the bigger stage. Otherwise, as you know, whether it's education funding, health funding, anything else, left out if you're in a remote or rural area.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, just to pop with the motion.
Has the council done any modelling around what the difference in our budget would be if these statutory fees and that we have to pay to various government departments or that are chosen for us, what difference that would make overall?
Through Mr. Mayor, we haven't done any specific modelling, but I can give you some examples. Like the stormwater management charge has been $25 for 10 years. So if you think of the cost of inflation over 10 years and know that we've.
No, I understand.
But in
I'm
terms.
just wondering on aggregate, is it making a big difference? How big is the difference?
From if you look at our audit fees, and some councils, our audit fees have gone up is 28%. That's this year. Last year they went up 40 something percent. Some councils' audit fees have gone up 80 or 90%. So we're talking about significant extra funding just for audit fees alone. And so they didn't go up gradually, they went up exponentially. And so we're saying you can't tell us to live within an envelope, and then you don't live by the same envelope.
I understand the principle.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just curious about the real. What is the real impact on that?
It's significant. It would be in the vicinity right now, $40,000 or $50,000 more than 3 years ago.
Bring the information.
General Manager,
Just for audit.
Emergency services fee go up from?
I'm not very good at remembering all the numbers off the top of
Around
my head.
40,000 to 170,000 in 1 year.
It was, and up to a point, the state government, because all the councils pushed back, the state government funded the gap. But then about 2 years ago, the state government said we're not funding the gap anymore, and so that went up exponentially as well. Yeah.
What's that figure?
Well, that figure went from my recollection,
Yeah, roughly
30 to 40,000 to I think it was 178.
Yeah, I can't be 100% sure, but yeah.
But councillor, right, we can bring that information to you about those costs. You know, it's the sentiment of telling the government, look, hang on, you're hitting us with all these fees and charges, we're going to pass on. How about you show some restraint as well?
Are those the biggest items you can remember off the top of your head from those fees?
Yeah.
These various
Through the mayor?
Just for the mayor, sorry.
Oh, pardon me.
Now pass on
Through the mayor or through the chair? I don't know.
through the mayor to the general manager.
Through the mayor to the general manager.
Yeah.
Were those two examples, are they the biggest examples?
They would be the most significant, but I come back to the stormwater charge, which I don't have a calculation for you, but for all the properties that pay stormwater charges, if they haven't increased over 10 years and you add them all up, it would be significant as well. We're probably talking hundreds of thousands in total rather than a small dollar amount.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. These are questions because we've got a motion to be voted on soon.
Possible to think of a different title apart from what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Is that what's in there, is it?
I know what you're saying. Well, I would just aligning fees and costs imposed by local government.
It just grabs people's attention. And sometimes if you're in a conference where there's 300 motions being debated, sometimes you do need to stand out. But, I'm happy to take one on the chin.
Do you have a proposal of word for a councillor? Are you happy to change that or are you happy to say that?
I just leave it as aligning fees and costs. How many motions?
170, something like that. Is that fair?
2 days or one?
Over 2.5 days, yeah.
A lot of councils, if I'm understanding, my apologies. A lot of those motions, we may do one that's very similar to November and they may combine them. And it has extra weight, but there may be appendices, A to G involved in that. So,
That's right, Councillor Kidd. I mean, other councils might be pushing for doctors as well, Forbes and Tamworth. So we get together and say, listen. Councillor Kidd, are you happy to change that or not? Or let me know before we put the vote.
It doesn't particularly worry me. I just simply need to stand out a little bit. It's like being red flag.
All right, so you're going to stay with that motion?
I'm happy to, yeah.
And seconder is happy with that?
Yeah, I agree. Having been to conferences, I understand exactly what you mean. There are so many motions over a few days. You really have to be significant for people to take seriously, and often it will align with other shires.
Right.
And so it adds to me. So
Right.
the message is, I'm more interested in the message, and I totally agree.
Right. Thank you, Councillor. So that was to give you some background to the motions. So we've asked for against, nobody stood against. So I'll ask that the motion be put. All in favour? Those against? Carried. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good. Yes, new council. I know there's a lot of new stuff to get your head around. I remember myself years ago to sit down and try and work everything out. But we will have workshops, finance workshops, and give you information. And we're moving on to the next part.
The meeting.
I'm going to close the meeting. Oh, very good.
And close the meeting and nominate the time.
All right, good. Right. A question from the floor.
I did want to raise an amendment to one part of this particular motion.
We already had the move from second and we passed it.
Right. I had my hand up to address.
Yeah, I didn't see you. I'll apologise for that. But we already had the move and the seconder, and we asked for anybody against it. When you speak against it, you can add an amendment if you don't 100% against it. So we've moved on. Apologise.
I had to do with the second part.
Yeah, well, we've moved and seconded the motion and it's gone through.
So through you, Mr. Mayor, just for procedural purposes.
Procedural purposes.
I believe that we voted on adopting that part of the motion. It's the overall item. I don't believe we've
part one
all of the item, have we?
Yeah,
item 8.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
3 carried with 5 motions, but part 1 and part 2, the whole recommendation was 1, 2, and 3, and 3 had 5 motions in part 3.
My understanding was that we were adopting this proposed motion to be added to the item, and then we'd vote on the item as a whole.
No, it was moved and seconded that the recommendation would be debated as per the recommendation.
So through Mr. Mayor, to clarify, Councillor Kidd included the motion in when he moved it, and the seconder approved it when they moved it. So that motion went in on the table. These things are complicated. But we will do some training around meeting practice. But Mr. Mayor, I think what some of the new councillors are saying is that they thought that they were voting on the third part of that motion only and not on 1 and 2.
I mean, the part in. I wouldn't have written it like this. I wouldn't have structured this in the papers. I wouldn't have structured it this way to be understood properly.
Yeah, I think all the
There's a line here that says it is proposed that council nominates the mayor and deputy mayor as voting delegates in 2024.
Yeah,
But
annual conference.
what motion?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, when we do the code of, when we do meeting practice, you'll see it was item 6.1.4 that was on the table. And when someone moves that item, they're moving everything in that.
Right.
So when the mayor said, does anyone disagree with anything, or does anyone, he's talking about the whole item.
So the recommendation that council 1, etc., 2, etc., 3, etc.
Yeah.
All goes down as a whole.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
I guess the thing is that you didn't read out those first 2 points. You only read out we only talked about the content of the.
Councillor Kidd added item motion number 3.
Pardon me?
Councillor Kidd added motion 5 to part 3.
Yes. But
Unfortunate.
The whole recommendation wasn't read out. You didn't read out point 1, 2.
The recommendation is given to you beforehand.
Right.
This was said
It
before.
doesn't get read out.
Yes.
yet.
I did raise my hand or to make an amendment to this motion. I raised my hand.
Anybody see it? I didn't see it.
I didn't see, Mr. Mayor, but I am aware that you called for, does anyone have anything else to say? So,
Again, Mr. Mayor, that was with respect. All this conversation was about the addition of Councillor Kidd's extra motion. No one's questioning that at all, and I think that's all been supported.
Yeah, look, I think what's happened is that when the recommendation was given out to everybody before tonight, right, there was a part 1, 2 and 3. Councillor Kidd, can you have 2 minutes, please, Councillor Kidd? When this was circulated beforehand today, right, you had part 1, 2 and 3, right? When we went into council, Councillor Kidd moved the recommendation and seconded by Councillor Morris, the recommendation as a motion. The recommendation from the start becomes a motion, and the motion was debated. Councillor Kidd added motion 5 to part 3, and I think the new councillors probably missed that part of it.
No, we understood. That's the only part we understood.
Mr. Mayor, we could close the meeting and discuss it.
Yeah,
if you
right.
prefer.
Yeah. Could somebody move close? Councillor Nardi, Councillor Maitland. By time 5 to 8, 7:55. Right, we can
It's the recording or?
record off.
Terry there.
Yeah. Also, it might be helpful if come and talk to them. I say, look, I'm going to move this. I want the debate with a bit of an idea.
I did make myself aware of the procedure. When you're reading material, you've got 1, 2, 3, they're discrete units. And this was a discrete that was being added to the motions to go to local government. I was fully aware of that. So what you're stating is that one recommendation encompasses all things.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I would like to go back to the video right at the very beginning of the motion and prove that I did raise my hand to indicate that I had the motion. But when you started going straight into reading Councillor